This is a Spooneyful podcast, chronically candid conversations, and I'm your host, Morgan Green. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to a Spooneyful podcast. It's a dreary day here in the DMV, but I'm going to do my best to rally and give you guys some good content. Hope you can't hear the rain in the background. But I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who responded and connected with me on last week's pod regarding chronic illness-induced post-traumatic stress disorder, because it's a real thing, and I really wish that we would open that discussion up more. I got a lot of great feedback and a lot of people agreeing that this was a thing. So I definitely think we need to dive more into this, and I'm excited to give you guys more content on stuff like that, more to come. But anyway, I also wanted to take this opportunity to talk about things you should not say to a person with an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, because I know a lot of our family and friends, they are looking for something to say, but they really just don't know what to say. So, when someone is facing a hardship, friends and family naturally, they want to help, but knowing what to do or even finding the right words to console someone when they're going through a traumatic event is difficult, and it's almost impossible. For a lot of people, if they can't physically see an illness and what they believe illness to represent, they can't really comprehend it. So unless I'm having, for me, one of my eyes are drooping, no one can really tell that I have MG. It's not something that they can see. They can't see my muscles being weak, Nonetheless, I could really be suffering on the inside. So believe me, if you are someone with an invisible illness, I get it. I've been there. And your friend or loved one, they aren't suffering the same way, but they are suffering in watching someone that they care about be in pain or be in discomfort and not knowing what they can do, or knowing that they can't do anything to make it better for you, So they want to say something, anything, but honestly, I found that sometimes silence is golden, especially when you don't know what to say because you don't want to say the wrong thing. So here are some things that I would advise you not to say, or some things that you might have heard from your loved one when trying to console you with a chronic illness. Number one, it could be worse. You guys can't see my face, but I'm giving you the stuck face, the Kermit face. Yes, it could be worse. And I talked a few weeks ago about it could be worse being a trigger statement when someone else is saying it, but how I like to flip it for positivity and purpose by saying it to myself. So yes, I get it. We all get it. Yes, it could be worse. As a matter of fact, thinking about how worse this can get is making me feel worse. You get what I'm saying? Comparing your misfortune to another's misfortune is not a way to make someone who's dealing with something traumatic feel better. Everyone's journey in life is different. And if I'm not allowed to compare success or life accomplishments when, trying to build myself, because they tell you comparison is the thief of all joy, then why the heck would you compare ailments? Why would you compare low moments to someone else's low moments if you don't compare the high moments to someone else's high moments? Make it make sense. Number two, at least it's not terminal. Well, actually it can be. So all chronic illnesses necessarily aren't terminal illnesses. No, don't know for a certain, with certain cancers or whatever, stage 4, hey, it's pretty much going to be a terminal type of illness and there's absolutely no cure and this and this. No, but it's long going. It's long suffering. Again, don't compare it to something that's easily treatable, like a cough or a broken limb, something more acute. And I would definitely recommend doing some research before you start spewing off little tidbits on things that you don't really know about. And when I say you, I'm talking about the family and friends of a person with a chronic illness, not to my Spoony community, because they know what the deal is. But anyway, I cannot tell you people who oh, you should drink more water, or have you tried yoga or exercising more? Y'all don't know. So y'all getting y'all information off of social media or YouTube University? Because it's not it. Let me know when you got your PhD or when you have encountered a chronic illness, and then maybe we can talk. Number three, you look okay to me. Another one of those things that people just be searching for something to say. Or you look good to me. Oh, you look nice today. I'm going to say this nicely. It's not about what it looks like to you. It's about what it feels like to me. It's about what it feels like to the person with the chronic illness. And 9 times out of 10, they feel like crap. You know, whether you can see it or not, you can't see that my legs feel like jello and then my arms feel like 200-pound weights, making it difficult to move. You can't feel the massive headache I've had for days because my vision is blurry without my eye patch, or I'm suffering from like a chronic migraine. And maybe I do look okay to you. But that's because I mustered up every single strength and spoon and scraped the bottom of the barrel for some confidence so that I could step outside of my house despite the war waging inside of me. Like, come on. Number 4, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? Like, did you give me a chronic illness? Did you make it incurable? There's nothing for you to be sorry for. So why are you apologizing for a wrong you haven't committed? You know, people say I'm sorry to express sympathy during like misfortunes like death. So it's like, thanks for the reminder that something unfortunate is happening in my life. And I don't want anyone's pity. Like, your pity offers zero solace to me. So I really don't want you to say, I'm sorry. Like, I even hate when people say, I'm sorry at funerals, but that's a different thing. Anywho, I'm sorry is not the thing to say. Again, I don't know what you should say, but that ain't it. And another one that I feel like people say is, oh, you'll be back to normal in no time. Well, did you miss the part where I said this was chronic and incurable, you know? Like, are you even listening to me when I talk? While symptoms may fluctuate between like good days and bad days, but the person living with a chronic illness, this is their new normal. This is the new reality. Life will never go back to air quote normal, or exactly how it was for them. So even if they manage to go into remission, there is still like this looming elephant in the room of when it will flare up again or when they'll be in crisis again. And it's always there. So trying to tell someone they'll be back to a normal when they have a new normal is just not helpful at all. So I told you guys what not to say, but I did want to try to attempt to figure out what to say. And I came up with nothing. So it would have been appropriate for me to give you a list of things you could say to your friend or loved one so that you don't offend them. And I honestly tried to come up with that list, and it just was like what I want to hear. I did draw a blank because there are no quote unquote right words to say, but try to stay away from the ones that I previously mentioned, at least when talking to me. Again, everybody responds differently to different words, and some things might trigger someone. But I would say, above all, let your friend or person with a chronic, your family member, whoever it is, know that you are there for them, that even though you aren't experiencing it the same way they are, that you want to support them in whatever way possible. Remind them that they aren't a burden. Remind them that their value is not tied to, you know, particular functions or duties or anything like that, and that they still have a lot to offer the world no matter what is going on in their bodies, you know? And I do want to end by saying, I know that when people say things, it's with the best intentions. You know, intention is everything. But I'm actually one of those people who don't mind silence. I would rather someone sit on the couch and watch TV with me in utter and complete silence as a show of support than try to pull out cliche things to say and just, you know, fill the silence. Like, no. But yes, that is all I have for this week. Can anyone else out there relate? I want to know how you guys reply when someone says something that kind of rubs you the wrong way. Do you correct it? Do you let it slide? What's some of the most outrageous things that someone has said to you after you have revealed to them that you have a chronic illness? All right. What else? Housekeeping. Oh, yes. Week 1 from the self-love challenge is going really, really well. I'm excited for this group of ladies. This came at a perfect time for me because I've been going through some things as far as like my health and productivity. So I was really, really hard on myself this week, but I think that it being time with the self-love challenge is proving to be like very, very helpful in me keeping my spirits up and showing myself compassion. So yes, that is all I have for you guys this week. Until next week, stay ill.